We start with a box with a cover, charmingly quaint. Then the contents. A traveler compelled by a coupling of curiosity and circumstance. A map outlining the initial path, but masks many a mystery beyond. And finally, possibilities, both pleasant and pernicious. Hi everyone, my name is Chris, and welcome to my board game guides. Today, I'm going to walk you through a game called Eila and Something Shiny. It's a narrative game about a rabbit who goes on a grand adventure. So before we start, I'd like to thank the team at IceMakes for sending me this demo copy. Much appreciated, guys. So with that, let's go on to the preview on how to play. Before Eila can embark on her adventure, let's set up the board. First, we have this card holder, which holds all the events that Eila will encounter within a given day. We start by placing it up top. And now the event cards themselves. The first are the yellow. These are what Eila will initially encounter when the chapter begins. Some of these will stay and cycle, some of these will go. To start it off, let's place it into the very top card holder. And then we have the blue cards. These are new events that will pop up during the course of the game. They'll generally be added based on the decisions that you make, and we will place them over to the right of the card stand. We also have red event cards, and these get triggered immediately when they show up. So we set those aside to the left. And then we have these habit cards. Habits allow Eila to practice something over and over and give her a lot of special benefits. So you'll definitely want to see these cards pop up during the course of the game. So we place the habits over to the far left, over here. And then we have Eila's lovely set of items. During the course of the game, Eila can get some items which will give her some abilities and make certain tasks easier. These are always great to have, and we'll set them aside to the far right, over here. And then finally, the most important card, the goal card. This goal card tells you what you need to do to finish a given chapter. So if you look at this, you'll see that she needs 2 books to complete the chapter. This also gives you some more details about that given chapter. For example, Eila has 3 health, represented by these 3 hearts. Run out of hearts, and she's in trouble. This card also comes with a time limit. This is how many days Eila is allowed to spend to finish up the chapter. And if she doesn't finish it up by then, she's also out of luck. No chance to move on. So be sure to keep track of this, and do so by placing this card in the very middle, right over there, so that you can monitor your progress and make sure things are going smoothly. During the day, Eila will encounter a litany of choices. Draw a card from the card stand and have Eila choose from several options. Some have prerequisites. Some have costs. Some allow Eila to swap something for something else. Some provide Eila with physical rewards, food in which to feast, coin for commercial concerns, and a magical stone to light the way. 8 of these items may be stored in her travel pack, and food is even more special because it can turn into energy anytime. 2 food can convert into 1 burst of energy. Some provide internal nourishment, energy to see Eila past the growing dangers, knowledge to imbue her with cleverness, quick thinking, and insight into the world of magic. 6 knowledge can convert into 1 magical stone at any time. On the flip side, there is fear. the pernicious uncertainties and self-doubt that can undermine her confidence and lay her low. Fear must be mastered, otherwise it may master her. Back to the choices. Some are a part of Eila's day-to-day and will cycle through day after day. These stay in the rotation, going to the future deck after they resolve. Some give you good habits to mold. These too cycle into the future deck. Other sow the seeds of adventure, allowing the unfolding of exciting opportunities. Friends and foes, storms, and serenity are but a few of the futures Eila will face. Where she opts to go is up to you. Doing so usually closes some paths. That card itself will then be placed in the past deck, never to be seen again. But it'll add a new card into the future deck, opening up new experiences. And when night falls, you may build towards the future by meeting the chapter milestones, 1 or 2 steps at a time, by using the goods in your physical and internal inventories. Then expend an energy to rest, or a heart if your energy's been drained. Then shuffle your deck and start the next day anew. A chapter comes to a close when Eila collects the needed components. Finish and find her fortunes and future. But tarry too long, more than 7 days, or lose heart, all of them, and she'll perish. Time to start over. In the beginning, though, Eila's days are spent in idyllic contentment, with adventure nothing more than a wispy flight of fancy. Her life is more Bilbo Baggins than Beowulf, a life where routine offers peace, play, and plenty. And yet the great tree seems concerned with her worldliness. In words wafting through the wind, the great tree asks, "The forest is full of surprises. Do you want to go on an adventure?" Eila thought long and hard. Staying near the great tree gave her comfort from the lovely fruits it supplied. But thinking of the great world beyond sent a shiver up her spine. What marvels and treasures lay beyond? What dangers might she face? The prospect of adventure began to sprout in her mind. "Sure," Eila squeaked, hesitatingly. Sensing the great tree's gentle gaze in her direction, Eila tried again. She cleared her throat and chirped, "Sure!" The great tree's branches creaked as the breeze danced through the forest. "Ah, if that is your desire, then perhaps our time together is nearing its end. Shall we play just a bit more as a way to cherish our final weeks together? Or shall I tell you a bit more about my life? What I saw from when I was a slender sapling to when I became the great tree." Playing with the great tree always filled her with joy. No matter how much she played, she always felt more energetic afterward. But the great tree's knowledge was vast, and there was much to learn about the world. "Oh, great tree, tell me the story. One from long, long ago, when the first tree settled this land and called it home." The great tree was taken aback by this request, but also pleased. Eila's demeanor seemingly changed with the prospect of adventure, an audaciousness replacing the passive rabbit the great tree thought he knew. His tree leaves rustled as he sighed. "Oh, well, I'll tell you the tale of Rosalind, a friend from the long, long ago who seeded this forest with many surprises." And so the story goes. This demo box takes you to the very beginning of Eila's journey, but there is much more to explore and more questions than answers. Why is Eila working in a factory making forks? What drew her there? And what will happen next? I guess we'll have to find out. In case there were any doubts, about some of the other extras that Eila and that shiny thing provides, well, hopefully this short bit will quell your doubts. Thank you very much. Subscribe to the My Board Game Guides YouTube channel for future updates, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.